Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back in here to Winslow's World. And so I've been out here at the shop is working this morning. Morning time here for me, might be evening for you folks. But anyway, so I've been out here trying to get ready for this bittersweet festival we're going to have Friday and Saturday. And so I've been trying to work up some leather projects, some wallets, some belts, and key fobs and stuff like that, cell phone case, stuff like that to try to get ready to set up for it then. So I've been gluing some pieces together, they need some dry time before I start sewing them. So anyway, I thought it'd be a good time for me to relax and make a video. So appreciate you stopping around. So I'm gonna take this time to get me up some pipe loaded tobacco. And so I'm gonna get me some of this here out again. This Rattrays, old gory. So go, see G. Trying to think of them English rules. So you get the first vowel, go. Okay, gory. That's how I'm gonna say it. All right, I ain't even got pipe loaded up. I just got through gluing them pieces and putting them together with them uh, staples, I guess you call them, temporary things to hold the glue together till they get dry. So I get me up some backer here. Some of you folks are talking about packing your pipe and everything. So there's my pipe. I got my Rattrays tobacco and my Rattrays pipe right here. So. And this is how I go about doing it. I guess you can see. I'll lower this thing maybe where you can see a little bit better. I make me a funnel. That way you ain't got to worry about the backer falling all around the edge of it. So I make me a funnel. You see there? It's probably about that high up above the rim there of the bowl. So I just got me a funnel. These little jars, they work real good for this. You have to watch now. If you don't watch it, they'll all come out there at one time. And I tell you, it may do that anyway, because that stuff is pretty stringy. You know, now I could tell you what's in this tobacco, because I got the tin back in behind me. I think if I haven't used it for something else. And so I pack it a little bit in there. Pack a little more in there. I guess you see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to see what my draw's like. Now, ain't got enough resistance. Got to have a little more resistance, so I'll try packing on it a little bit and try that. Oh yeah, got the right amount of resistance. Let's see what that does. Now I don't see the, okay. Well, I took that tin off. I might have used it for something. And tins, I use them for different things. It's gonna be a crazy video, I guess, since I'm in the shop in here. But like I say, I just taking me a break. So anyway, gonna tell you what was in it. All I can remember that's in there is some dark fire. That's what comes out to be seen here. So come on. I got a sweep out here anyway. I can just put that in the floor because it's a concrete floor and I got all kind of leather pieces I got to sweep up, scrap. And when I say pieces, I mean just little old pieces. And that old gourd right there got a good taste to it. I like it. Got the right amount of everything I like. So I like something with a little nicotine overnight. But it was handy. I got it out. I thought, well, I'm going to use my Rattrays pipe and this Rattrays tobacco. So that's what it did. So what kind of day have y'all had so far? I think it's 54 degrees when I looked this morning at about 6 o'clock. It might have dropped one more. Well, just use what's handy. I got this little creek rock I saw some years back in the river out there. River rock, whatever, creek rock. I thought that'd make a good little tamper. So anyway, come on. Well, hope y'all been doing okay on your end of the camera. I'm on this side and you on the other side. In your house or automobile or wherever you are. So appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, I like this here tobacco pretty good. Might order some more of it. Yeah, I've been working on some wallets, or I think there's what they call roper style wallets. Roper style. You know, it's a long wallet, so I got them all in. Got them all clipped down, glued down. Here's one. Them long wallets. Like it right there. They close up like that. Stick in your pocket a long ways like that. I got that interior and everything glued together. Had to hold it pretty good, but yet I gotta chisel the holes in it. And then take a long piece of thread and a needle on each end and go in the hole and then go through the other hole all the way around there. So the next 2 days I'll be sewing. It wouldn't take all day to do it, but after a while it's gonna get hot in this shop in here, and I'm gonna have to get through eating dinner. I'm probably gonna be tired and sleepy. I just go as far as I can go. Usually I'm better in the morning. Anyway, and then so in the afternoons then I don't do a whole lot, and then it cools down in here sometimes of an evening. If I feel like doing something, I'll do a little more. So I got out and wormed a horse this morning when I went out to milk. That's always a trip. he don't want to stay still for taking the wormer. It's always lifting his, jerking his head, jerking his head, jerking his head up. Just have to be patient with him. He'll finally, get to the place where he'll stand still enough for me to get my finger in his mouth. And then when he starts, sticking his tongue out and all, I can stick that tube up in there and squeeze that wormer up in there. I I think he was 12 years old when I got him, so I don't know what kind of problems he had with the previous owner or owners about worming, but he might have had a bad experience with that, so he hadn't forgot it, whatever it was. So I just patient with him. He eventually takes it. Yeah, I was thinking about this here leathercraft and stuff. It's a pretty interesting hobby. I don't make a living at doing this. If I made a living from this leathercraft and stuff, why I'd have starved a long time ago. No, I don't make no living after it. But anyway, there's people wants things done, and so anyway, most of what I make customized Bible covers, but I do belts and wallets and cell phone cases and some repair work. So I started on this saddle. Well, I won't try to move the camera. It won't mean much to you. I got started on this saddle last winter. I got busy with the garden and the yard, and then it got hot weather, and I ain't got back on it yet. So when it gets winter time, I'll get back on this saddle and try to get it finished up. But it's a pretty interesting hobby though, this leather crafting is. If you start out with easy projects like these little old key fobs right here, like it right there, you got to get you a pattern made up. Once you get your pattern made up, like the pattern is your shape of your project, then you can tool or carve or do nothing. That's just raw piece of leather. That's what you do with scraps when you got scrap left over. And so, of course, you just bend it over like that and put a rivet in it right there and put your ring on it for your keys and everything. They're not real popular, but some people will come along and buy them. I'm going to try to do the alphabet between now and Friday afternoon. I don't know whether I can get all this stuff done or not. We'll see. But anyway, I could have worked on that instead of doing this now, I guess. But anyway, we here now. And so, of course, I'll have to stain that right there. Put some color to it. Dark brown, light brown, mahogany, saddle tan. That's a real light color. Something. So, you can paint them letters right there. You can paint them with a model car brush. You can paint them black, or you can put stain blocker on it and then stain over top of it, and it'll just pop. You'll be able to see that real good. It'll be the color of that leather where everything else will be dark colored. Them good little projects to start out with. Then eventually you're going to wind up doing a belt. Had a man come by the other day, 80-year-old man. He said, I don't know why I want a Western belt for. His wife passed away 2 weeks ago. And he said, I don't know why I want a Western belt, but I want you to make me a Western belt. And he brought me the buckle that he wants put on it. And so the next thing you wind up getting into with this stuff is belts. That's just a raw piece of leather I got cut out. And there's quite a bit yet to do to it. When you get it cut out, that's one thing. Well, then you got to come along and bevel them edges and put a line down through it if you're going to put some tool work on it. And he wants some tool work done to it. So anyway, when you get through with it, what he wants is that right there. That's what he wants, is that pattern. Now, some of you folks out west may think, well, that don't look like no Western belt to me. Well, yeah, but that's the pattern that he picked out, so that's what we're going to call a Western belt. No, I do buck stitching, but he didn't want buck stitching. And I tell you something else, too, it costs more. The more time I put into stuff like that, the more it costs. So, anyway, and I didn't bother to line these belts. And I try to sell them for $35, just a plain belt like that right there with some tool work done to it. So anyway, now you get up there. Yeah. So anyway, then you start getting into cell phone cases. Look like it right here. They're pretty handy. Got that thing on the back of it. You can just slide it on your belt and then take it off. Clip it over your belt. Take it off. It's pretty handy. I like it. And then somebody want a pistol holster done. If you ever get started with this stuff, it won't be no end. Somebody want a pistol holster done or something like it, or a knife sheath. That's my knife that I carry right there. That's the handiest thing. That fixed blade knife. Had a fellow over here at the feed mill. He makes these knives, and he made that knife for me, and I made the sheath to fit it. So it's pretty handy right there. You can take it out, open up a sack of feed or whatever, it's pretty handy. So, one thing leads to another. Spur straps. I got made up a couple of sets of spur straps, and so, just first one thing to another. Get all that smoke out of my mouth where I can start enjoying it. Y'all know what I mean. We've had some pretty days around here. Now, last week when I made the video, it was dry. That evening it started raining, and in a week's time, off and on different days last week, we got 3 inches of rain. Got the creek up rolling again. And so, anyway, it was a help. And that's good, because as the fellow was waiting on the rain to cut his last crop of hay, going to square bale it, and that's where hopefully, if he don't sell it before I can get to it, and that's where I'll get my hay for the goats and the horse for this winter. Sure have had birds come along and eat my zipper cream peas a lot this year. I don't remember seeing them do that before like that. It seems like every year there's something different. Now, this spring we had an invasion of rats, not here, but out there at the barn. So I tried to nip that in the bud as quick as I could. I set a trap, caught one of them. Then I put out poison out there. So I reckon I got rid of them. Seems like one year we'll have more tick problem than another. One year we'll have more snakes around than another. And you don't ever know. I don't know how long I've been on here. 21 minutes. That's probably long enough. Is it? Is that long enough? Is it too long? I really don't matter what you say. Whether it's too long, too short, or whatever. There's some people ain't gonna watch it because they just ain't gonna watch it. And some people don't comment. That's cool. Whatever. I know you got TV. You can't comment. I don't reckon. I don't know if you can or not. I can't. I don't know how to do it on mine if you do. So I don't know. I don't know about all this stuff. Okay. I just know about what I've done so far. So well, let me get me a drink here. We'll try to find a stopping place, I guess. I got a cell phone case over. I need to glue an interior, and then I can glue the edges and then sew it up maybe sometime or other this hopefully this week before this festival starts. So well, until we meet again, I hope y'all have a good week. Enjoy the weather. And I don't know what it's going to be like over there, wherever this hurricane's going to come in. But y'all have a good week. Appreciate you stopping by. And so y'all have a good rest of the day.